अंडरस्टैंडेबल हो, और जो प्रेजेंट सिनेरियो में जिसमें कि बहुत सारे मिथ्स होते हैं, बहुत सारे कंफ्यूजन्स होते हैं, व्हाट्सएप पे इतना ज्ञान नॉलेज मिलती रहती है या नेट पे मिलती रहती है, वो एक डिग्निफाइड और ऑथराइज्ड स्पेशलिस्ट से हमें ये जानने को सुनने को मिले, और उसके बाद जो क्वेरीज हो उनका भी निराकरण हो जाए। तो इससे बढ़िया हमें और अवसर नहीं मिल सकता था। मैम ने बहुत काइंडली एक्सेप्ट किया हम लोग का प्रपोजल। सो मैम प्लीज, नाउ आई वांट यू टू स्टार्ट द प्रेजेंटेशन। ओके मैम। डॉक्टर मोनिका खन्ना।
Yeah. Thank you everyone for inviting me on this forum to speak today, and I hope you all will find my lecture useful in the present scenario. And I would just like to say hello to everybody, and I hope the josh of everyone is high in these pandemic times, and all of us are keeping fine. Now today I would be talking about the most burning topic of present times, that is the COVID-19 pandemic. I would just be touching upon some of the general awareness features and about little bit about the. So now I'll just share the screen. 1 minute. Okay. So now the COVID-19, that is the coronavirus infectious disease pandemic, is caused by SARS-CoV-2 219, which is the full form of which is the severe acute respiratory syndrome coronavirus 2. And this was identified by the World Health Organization in January 2020, after the epidemic spread in Wuhan, China in December 2019, as all of us know. Now, coming to the COVID-19 virus, it is one of the 7 strains of the coronaviruses. Some of these coronaviruses cause severe disease like MERS-CoV virus, which is Middle East respiratory virus, and the SARS virus, which is severe acute respiratory syndrome virus, while others just cause common cold. So the meaning of this point is that the COVID-19 virus is somewhere between the very severe disease-causing virus and the viruses which just cause the common cold. The coronavirus arises of a large family of viruses that are commonly found in humans and animals like the camels and the cattle. The main reservoirs for the SARS-CoV virus are the from which this spreads, and then further human transmission, or as in the case of the COVID-19 pandemic in China. You must have TV or read somewhere. Now, one would be curious to know that how does the transmission of this virus occurs? So, transmission of this virus is a transmission. I would like to make it clear that what is a droplet transmission? See, if someone has a common cold in the house, then what happens? The other person also has it. Because it is an airborne disease you are breathing. In the air, the virus comes and get infection from this. But in coronavirus, what happens? That whenever we sneeze, the droplets are created, and through these droplets, we can get the transmission. So the virus can travel for a distance of around 6 feet. It can infect 3 to 4 persons at a time. The other possible modes of transmission are by touching the surface or object on which the particle has landed, and then after that touching our own mouth, nose, and possibly the eye. Now this virus particle stay alive for hours on the surface it lands on. Like for instance, in copper, it stays alive for 4 hours. On cardboard for 2 hours. On plastic or stainless steel, it stays for 3 hours. That is why it is very important to regularly disinfect surfaces. I would like everyone to mute their mics, please, so that the background noise is not there. Everyone has muted their mics, no?
Yeah, everybody is muted.
Okay, thank you. Now, there are some researches say that the virus may also be present in the feces, but this is confirmed at present. Now coming to the clinical features means that if a person comes with the corona you can hear me now?
Yes, you're
Okay.
audible, ma'am.
Mostly elderly people are affected, and symptomatic infection in children appears to be uncommon, and when it occurs, it is usually mild. The males are affected more than females, and people who have comorbidities. Comorbidities meaning other diseases like diabetes or any cardiac problem or cancer, or if the patient is taking immunosuppressive medicines like that, because what happens is immunity is low. Now, what are the clinical symptoms? Meaning, what will the patient present with? So we see that fever is present in the majority. That is around 99% of the people. Patient can present with extreme fatigue. Fatigue means that he will be extremely tired. This is there in 70% of the cases. The patient can have dry cough, which is there in around 60% of the cases. Myalgias, meaning severe muscle pains. The patient will complain that he's having body ache, and he can have dyspnea, means difficulty in breathing. This is present in 31% of the cases. The patient can also present with other symptoms like headache, sore throat, rhinorrhea, meaning a running nose, and gastrointestinal symptoms, meaning patient बोलेगा कि मुझे पेट में परेशानी है, like he can be having diarrhea or vomiting. So these are the features with which the patient can present. Now these symptoms with which the patient presents are very much similar to the normal common cold which we have. So it is very difficult to distinguish that whether the patient is having corona or he is having just a simple flu. So for this, the test has to be done, and there has to be a high index of suspicion. So you have to consult your doctor, and the doctor will decide that what is to be done next. Now this slide shows the structure of the coronavirus. Now I will explain to you in detail that it is a RNA virus. All of you must be knowing that there are DNA viruses and there are RNA viruses. So this is a RNA virus, and see, like this is the pink structure here. This is the RNA virus, and it is covered with an envelope. You can see this red ring over here. This is the fat envelope which surrounds the RNA. And these are the glycoproteins or the spike glycoproteins which are present on the surface of the virus. This virus, since it is not a complete living organism, so it is not killed, but it decays on its own. And the disintegration time depends on the humidity, the temperature, and the surface on which the virus lies. Now, the soap and water is the best remedy for this, because the foam cuts the fat, and 65% alcohol, which is used in hand sanitizers, dissolves the fat. 1 part of bleach to 5 parts of water dissolves the protein, and this virus is very stable in cold, humid, and dark environment. So to have this virus to disintegrate fast, we have to have a room or a house which is very well ventilated, it is lighted well, it is not humid. Now, secondly, another important thing is that we should not dust the clothes which are either infected or not infected, because like what is there in practice which we do is that we take the sheet and we dust it like this. So what happens with this is that the virus particles dislodge and they come in the air, and there they can lodge for around 6 hours, and they can go into our nose or our mouth or into our eyes. So we should never dust the clothes or the sheets. And another important thing is to maintain a very good hygiene, and the nails should also be cut properly because the virus can hide in the nails. Now, what is the benefit of the infection prevention and control? See, now this pandemic, the coronavirus pandemic, is here to stay, and we cannot predict when it will end. So it is a responsibility of all of us to protect ourselves, our family, our patients, and the community from getting infected. And coming to a lighter note, this virus is to our house, the guest never comes. Similarly, if we don't invite this virus, it will never enter our body. And to prevent it from entering our bodies, there are 5 pillars which have to be followed strictly. Now, these are the 5 pillars that prevent the coronavirus from entering our body. The first pillar is the respiratory hygiene. The second pillar is the hand hygiene. The third pillar is wearing a mask. The fourth pillar is social distancing. And the fifth pillar is to disinfect the surfaces. Now, respiratory hygiene, this is very, very important because this reduces the spread of the microorganisms that cause the COVID-19 infection. If supposing you are wanting to cough or sneeze, then you should turn your head away from others while coughing or sneezing. You should cover the nose and the mouth with a tissue paper. And if the tissue is used, then it should be discarded immediately into a covered bin. Now, this is very important. It should not be an open bin, but a covered bin, because from there, the microorganism will not spread. Then if you do not have a tissue at that time, then it is better to cough into your elbow, like you will cough like this. And you will not cough into your hands, because what is happening, if you cough into your hands, you are going to use these hands again to touch something. And when you touch that surface, then some other person will come, he will touch that surface, and the virus will be transmitted through the micro droplets. And during these pandemic times, it is better not to use a hanky. And after coughing or sneezing, you use your, clean your hands with soap and water or a sanitizer. And it is very, very important, especially in Uttar Pradesh, that we should not spit here and there. The pan, the whatever, the tambaku and all the people spit, so that should not be there. And another important thing is that even when you are talking loudly, then that creates a lot of micro droplets. Because you see that whenever a person is talking loudly, then what happens? Sometimes the drop of sputum or saliva comes out from his mouth and falls on the other person. So this is also a means of transmission. So we should not talk so loudly, but softly. Now coming to hand hygiene. Now this is very, very important, because all the government and everyone and all the, like the ICMR, the WHO is saying that the hand hygiene is very, very important. And this is the best way to prevent the spread of the virus. Our hands are the main tools of work, and they are the key link in the chain of transmission. Use appropriate product and technique, and alcohol-based hand wash can be used. The hand, if you are using an alcohol-based sanitizer, then you should rub hands for around 20 to 30 seconds, and we should let them dry before using them. Here, an important point to note is that the sanitizer works only when it has evaporated. Supposing you use a sanitizer and your hands are still wet and you use them somewhere, then the sanitizer is not going to work. But the sanitizer works only by evaporating, because it is alcohol based. So you have to be clear that you have to use your hands only when the sanitizer has evaporated once. Now, the easiest and the most simple thing is to wash your hands with soap and running water. And for this, a single-use towel is to be used. Now, this is important, that a single-use towel, meaning a towel is not to be used repeatedly, because what is happening is that time you are spreading more infection. And if you are using it and then another person in the house is using it, then instead of curtailing the infection, you're spreading more infection. And for this, you have to remember a mnemonic, that is Suman K. So how you are going to wash your hands, I will demonstrate in a video, but then I'll just tell you how you are going to wash your hands. The hand is to be washed for 40 to 60 seconds. So this is very important, the time duration, that if you're washing your hand with soap and water, then it is 40 to 60 minutes. And if you are using a hand sanitizer, then for 20 to 30 seconds. Okay. So now if this is the hand, then first you will rub it like Sidha, then Ulta, both sides, then Muthi, you will clean. Okay. And then you will clean the Angutha like this, Muthi. Then you will clean the nails, which are always forgotten. Okay. This is the nails, and then the Kalai. This is Suman K. Now you can see this in the video also. Is the video audible and can everyone see it? Can everyone see the video?
Yes, ma'am, it's visible.
You can see the video now?
Yes, Dr. Monica, we can see it.
Okay. Now this is the single-use towel or a tissue. And another important thing to put over here is that you see the tap is not closed with the hand, but the tissue itself is used to close the hand, because if you use the tap again, then again you are infecting your hands. So the tap has to be closed with the tissue. Okay. Now, the very important point which I'm going to tell you here is about wearing a mask. Like you see, the government has also said that none of us are to step out of the house without wearing the mask. See, why a mask is important? Because the micro droplets are prevented from being spread. Now, if you have a respiratory problem, or if you are looking after a patient at home who is a COVID positive, then you should use a surgical mask. See here, a surgical mask is being demonstrated. The mask. See, if supposing you are you don't have any respiratory problem, then you can just use a simple cloth mask. Okay, now see, this is a surgical mask. As all of you know, it is a 3-tier surgical mask. Now the N90. Okay, I'll just demonstrate again. See, this is a 3-tier surgical mask, and how it is to be used. See, firstly, you should never touch either the inner or the outer surface of the surgical mask. If you have to hold the mask, you will hold it by the elastic or the lace or the thread, whatever it is there. Or even if it is a cloth mask, you are going to hold it like this. You are never ever going to hold it like this. Then when you put the mask, you have to use it like this, and you have to cover your nose and your mouth both. Okay. Some people, what they do is, when they are using the mask, they will just cover their mouth like this. Now this is of no use, because the nose is exposed and the micro droplets can go in from here. Then some people will just wear it like this and expose the mouth while talking. Or when they are talking, what they'll do is that they will do the mask like this, that they should be audible to the other person. But this is absolutely wrong, because like I have told you in the previous slide, if you're talking, then again the micro droplets are going out from your mouth. So this has to be worn properly like this. Another important thing is that there should be a close proximity between the mask and your face. There should be no gaps over here, because if the gaps are here, then again the micro droplets can enter through this. Now, when you are removing the mask, then again this surface is not to be touched. You will just hold it like this and remove the mask. And if it is a surgical mask, what you will do, you will just dispose it. And before disposing it, you will destroy the mask, because if you don't destroy the mask, what will happen? Someone else will reuse it. And what is to be done, if supposing it is a cloth mask, then it can be reused, but it will not be kept in the open space. It has to be kept in a paper bag. So this much is clear to all of you. Now, the other important thing is that we have to maintain a social distance. Now, a social distance has to be maintained, and if possible, then a social distance of 6 feet should be maintained. And if 6 feet cannot be maintained, then a distance of 2 feet is a must, so that the virus droplets do not transmit from one person to the other. The house should be well ventilated, and we should avoid going to crowded places. Then the fifth pillar, which is also important, is disinfecting of the surfaces. For this, household bleach can be used or a sodium hypochlorite solution can be used, and the concentration depends on the place which is being disinfected. Now, coming to the spectrum of the illness. Now, as you can see in this slide, that around 80% of the cases, or the majority of the people, have a very mild illness and they recover on their own without any treatment. Then 10% have a severe illness, that means they require hospitalization or oxygen support, and only 5% have a critical illness, meaning they require a ventilator or other ICCU facility. And the overall case fatality rate for this COVID-19 virus is not so much. It is just between 2.3 to 5. And considering that India has a very huge population density of 135 crore, which is equal to the combined population of USA, Europe, Brazil, and Argentina, the situation in India is pretty much under control because of the cooperation of the people and the able leadership of the Prime Minister. The general population as such is very much afraid and petrified. It is more because of the social media and on hearing how the pandemic is taking its course in the Western countries, where the level of immunity for the people is low. So actually, there is nothing to panic. But yes, the precautions are a must, because prevention is always better than cure in any disease, and especially in this COVID-19 virus disease. Why? Because till now, there is no exact treatment for it. So if you take the prevention, then you can save yourself and your family and the community. Now, I would also like to clarify some of the myths which are related to the corona or the COVID-19 virus, which are very, very much prevalent in the public. Then see, if you, some people think that if you get this COVID-19 virus infection once, then it will remain for forever. But it is not like that. Because if we get common cold or flu, then it doesn't last forever, but it becomes okay itself in around 10-15 days or whatever. Then some people say that drinking alcohol cures the corona, which is not there. Then hydroxychloroquine, it was being used randomly in people. There was such a lot of panic that all the medicine had disappeared from the market, but it is not to be given to everyone. There are certain guidelines to which set of patients it has to be given, and the doctor will decide it. So you should not take it on your own, because there are certain side effects which are very dangerous of this medicine. Then spraying or introducing bleach protects you. This is also wrong. Exposing yourself to high temperature hand dryers kills the virus. This is also wrong. And some people say that the test for coronavirus is that if you are able to hold your breath for 10 seconds, it means you don't have coronavirus. So this is absolutely wrong. And the COVID-19 virus, if you don't have, that can only be detected by a RT-PCR. Then some people say that thermal scanners can detect the virus. So supposing you go out to a mall, or you go out to malls so are closed. But if you go out to a doctor's chamber and a thermal scanner is put and the temperature is normal and you feel that you don't have a COVID-19 infection, then that is wrong, because the thermal scanners will only detect the temperature. They will not detect whether you are infected with COVID-19 or not. Then some people say that rinsing your nose or saline gargles kills the virus, which is also not there, because nothing actually kills the virus. Then some people say that certain antibiotics or vaccines against pneumonia are effective. So this is also not the case, because till now, till recent time, that means present till today, no vaccine has been developed against the COVID-19 virus, but researches are going on. And some people say that eating garlic or hot pepper can cure the corona, so which is also not there. Now, I hope all of you are with me till this time and you have been able to understand what I have been saying till now, and the queries of this we will take in the end. Now, I will stress on a little bit of the stress management in these times of the pandemic. And according to Darwin's theory, we all know the Darwin's theory that it is the survival of the fittest. And here fittest means, it does not mean a person who is only physically fit, but it means one who is physically, mentally, and emotionally fit. And fitness means that we are able to adapt to any outside change and emerge out from that unaffected. Now, as we are taking so many precautions to protect ourselves physically, it is also necessary to protect ourselves from the emotional infection of stressful vibrations like anxiety, fear, pain, worry, and uncertainty, which this pandemic has brought about. When facing a crisis outside, we can remain calm inside by taking care of our minds. A powerful mind will think right, and naturally it will radiate peace, stability, faith, and compassion to one and all. Now, there are some simple ways by which we can create a positive shift in our consciousness, and we can enjoy a sustained positive emotional, mental, and physical health. Now, first of all, it is gratitude. Like every day, if we practice gratitude, and this attitude keeps us very happy and healthy. And we should have gratitude to divinity, to God, to our mind, to our body, who has helped us such a lot. We have stayed in this body for such a long time, and it has given us so many pleasures, so many things. We can do so many things with it. To the people around us, like our parents, our children, our family, our friends, our teachers, the people who come and work at home, the delivery boys. There are so many people are working for us. So we feel grateful to them for what they are doing and for whatever we have and whatever we are using. Then secondly, if we meditate for some time, 10 minutes or 20 minutes, especially in the morning hours, then it gives us a lot of mental power. And with that, our decision power increases a lot. And with meditation, we connect to divinity and we absorb his healing energy and empower our minds and body to emerge the original qualities which we have in us, like faith, power, and compassion. Then another important thing is that we should avoid fake news on social media. This is very important to prevent stress. Now, especially in the early hours of the morning, if we study something which empowers us to remain positive, stable, and calm throughout the day, and during the day, we should not listen to the news or go to the social media for more than 5 to 10 minutes. We should get the information and then disconnect immediately. And we should never be carried away by fake news or rumors, and we ourselves should not be responsible for spreading them. Then another important thing which is there a lot in India is kindness. And the more we are kind to other people, the happier we are. Because the more we give to society, the more we get back. The more we give to nature, the more nature gives us. And we have taken so much for nature, like we have been taking the oxygen, the water, the earth has given us so many fruits, vegetables, the wheat, everything. So we should give back to nature whatever we can do by helping other people. Now, another important thing is to exercise our body and mind. See, because what has happened in the COVID-19 pandemic is that everyone is staying at home. They are just lying on the bed or reading a book or seeing a Netflix or watching a movie, and there is no work. But so what is happening that the weight of the people is also increasing, and obesity leads to more chances of infection. So if the body is physically and mentally active, then the chances of infection are much less in that body. And for this, we can do yoga or we can do pranayam, and the right energy radiating to our body creates a very good health. Another important thing is that we should think positively, and the word impossible should not be there in our dictionary. Because if we have a strong determination, then everything is possible. We should create only pure, powerful, and positive thoughts. Because see, this is very important that every thought which we create, either in our mind or we speak it out, influences our feelings, our physical health, the people around us, and also the environment. See, because if we, like it is a very simple example that if we go to a tree and we water it, and if our feelings are very bad for the tree will never become green. It will dry out. So the thoughts are also received in nature. So we should always have positive thoughts, and we should never have negativity in our life that this is going to happen, this is going to happen. So if we think positive, our lives will also become positive. Now, another important thing is that we should take care of what we eat and drink. And in eating and drinking, it is not just our nutrition and calories, but it is the vibrant care of the diet. And this goes a long way in keeping our mind peaceful. We should eat home cooked food. The kitchen should be a very high energy place. We should eat every meal mindfully, thanking God. What our ancestors had told us, that before starting a meal, always pray to God, say thank you to Him. And like all our Shastras said and say, that the ahar and the vichar, both are very, very important. During the time of eating, there should be no gadgets, no mobile phones, no Netflix, no discussing issues, and no negative conversations. Then another important thing is that we have been told to have physical distancing, but not social distancing. Social distancing means that you are absolutely cut off from everyone. You don't talk to anyone. You are secluded, staying in a room, just reading or seeing WhatsApp and all. But see, we have to become socially close. We can talk to more people, to our friends, to our relatives, to our teachers, whom we had never talked to for such a long time because of our busy day-to-day routines. And we can talk to the elderly people who are lonely, and we can have so many new friends during this time of pandemic, rather than just being isolated and saying that we become bored, what should we do, we are feeling so lonely, we are feeling so depressed. So the more we communicate, the happier we are, because the people who communicate less are more depressed. Then another thing which we can do in our pandemic times, that we can pursue our hobbies. All of us have had such a busy routine. We are just running here and there. We don't know when the day starts and when it ends. So during this time, we can pursue our hobbies, whatever we liked, like drawing, painting, whatever it is. So that is a very good time. And we should also remember that this time, which we have had for this last 2 months, is never going to come back. So this time is all for us ourselves, and we can use it in the best manner we choose. Now, another important thing is that a good quality sleep, which is very important because the mind needs rest more than the body. We should resolve all the issues on our mind to silence before going to sleep, and this empowers the subconscious mind. We should avoid scenes or emotionally stimulating content an hour before bedtime, and we should read something positive as the last thought of the day. This pandemic which has come and the lockdown, it has given us lots and lots of time to introspect and to retrospect, and it has also taught us many things which we may have never noticed or learned in our fast-paced lives, that may we never again take for granted. Simple things like hugging our parents and children, conversation with neighbors, a crowded theater, coffee with a friend, each deep breath, and life itself. And thank God for all that He has given us and the nature has given us. See, because we used to take all these things so much for granted that we would never even think before going out to coffee with a friend. It was just a natural thing. But now we value it. So this has made us value all the things which has been given to us. There is impartial justice in nature, and what we take away from it, it will somehow in its subtle ways take back from us. Like we had polluted so much the air, like now you all know that since the lockdown, the air has become so much more cleaner. And during this period, nature has rejuvenated itself with cleaner, lesser polluted air and rivers, repairing of the ozone layer over the Antarctica, which came in the paper today that it has been completely repaired. There are much lesser people who are falling ill because of lesser stress, more family time, better sleep pattern, and lesser eating out. So it has taught us that how actually we should live. More time with the family, less stress, less running around, because we can all do without it. There are more birds flying in the sky and chirping happily in the sky to which they belong. The moon and the stars appear to be brighter and nearer, as if they were basking in their full glory. Now I will show you a video which is very important and a very sweet video. So I hope you all like it.
2020, a new virus came our way. The governments reacted and told us all to hide away. While we all were hidden, amidst the fear, and all the while, people dusted off their instincts. They remembered how to smile. They started clapping to say thank you and calling up their mums. And while the car keys gathered dust, they would look forward to their runs. And with the skies less full of voyagers, the earth began to breathe, and the beaches bore new wildlife that scuttled off into the seas. Some people started dancing, some were singing, some were baking. We'd grown so used to bad news, but saw good news was in the making. And so when we found the cure, and were allowed to go outside, we all preferred the world we found to the one we'd left behind. Old habits became extinct, and they made way for the new. And every simple act of kindness was now given its due.
But why did it take a virus to bring the people back together?
Well, sometimes you've got to get sick, my boy, before you start feeling better.
Now, this pandemic has also made us realize that money, power, and position is not everything. And you can't get the health you are fighting for with these. The example of the superpowers like the US are there in front of us, who have fallen to their feet. It also makes us realize that our ego is worthless. It has shown us the fragility of human life. And in death, there is no discrimination between the rich and the poor, the weak and the strong. It has taught us to be more patient, more mindful, more compassionate for the feeling of others. It has physically distanced us, but it has bound us together and brought us together as a Vasudev Kutumbakam. As all of us know, this is not the first time that we are facing a pandemic, because we had the MERS pandemic, we had the SARS pandemic, we had the plague pandemic, then we had the World War II, we had the World War III, and we have, from all that in history, we have learned that nothing remains forever. And these days will also pass away. We cannot change the past and the future we do not know about. But at present, the reality is that the COVID-19 virus is there and we have to live with it, and all of us have to fight it together like brave soldiers. COVID may come or COVID may go, but we should have the determination and enthusiasm to emerge as victorious soldiers and be safe. So this is all I would like to say. We all have the determination and that we will fight COVID-19 together and we will win it. Now, I would like to thank all of you. And if there are any queries, then you can send them personally to my chat box. Thank you, everyone. And I hope all of you found the seminar interesting and benefited from it.
Thank you so much, ma'am. So I'm going to unmute Dr. Rama. And I was going through the chat box and I have found for a few queries they are having, participants are having. Most of the participants had appreciated this presentation very much, and few of the comments I would like to read out. They are saying that it is a very useful session. Many a times they have repeated that it's a valuable session. Also, many of the participants said that this was well explained to them and was very informative, and it was quite a positive lecture. So I think now we will proceed to the queries. So Dr. Afifa Fatima, I will just unmute her. So Dr. Afifa Fatima, she wanted to know how to disinfect our home apart from regular mopping and cleaning. So Dr. Monica, we would like to know the answer from you.
Yeah, you can use the simple bleaching powder is there. So you can use it like one part of, you can, that is 6% bleach you can use. That comes to like you have a matchbox at home. You can use one matchbox full of that bleaching powder, and you can use 1 liter of water. So that can be used for mopping the house. So that is a very good disinfectant which can be used.
Also, I was getting some another question. So this was that Is there any test available to detect the coronavirus, and what is the name of the test which is used to detect the coronavirus?
Okay, the coronavirus testing, see, if you have to get the coronavirus testing done, it is not done like it is not done for the general public. First, you have to go to the doctor. There is only one private lab who's doing it, that is the RML, and then it is being done through the CMO. So you have to consult the doctor. The certain number of forms are filled in, and then that test is done. The name of the test is the COVID-19 test, and it is a RT-PCR test which is done. Okay, and the cost of this test privately is around 4,500 rupees. The government is doing it free of cost, but it has to be done through the CMO. Is it clear?
Okay, so I'm just going to unmute Dr. Rama. So meanwhile, I'm going to the chat box also. So I think Mr. Amit Kumar Dhiman is, how vegetables can be disinfected? This is a question coming from the participant.
Yeah, the vegetables can be washed. The best thing is to wash them with soap and water. Other things can be used as like potassium permanganate solution, or bleach can be used, but the best is to just to wash them with soap and water.
So I'm not finding any more queries. I think Dr. Rama can. So. So I would write, now I request Dr.
I
Rama.
told now I'm not just looking the name, but
Dr. Rama ma'am, can you hear me? Am I audible to you?
Yeah, you are audible. Actually, I was just scrolling the chat box and I have seen the query, and it is not just picking again.
No, see, there is another question that are our pets affected by corona? So our pets, just now, see, it is not human. From animal to human transmission is there. Like in the case of bats, which transmitted it to humans in China, Wuhan, China, only 1 or 2 cases of human to animal transmission have been reported. Like there was a pet in US or New York, I don't remember exactly. There is only 1 case and 1 case of a tiger getting infected. But otherwise, there have been no such reports till now from human to animal transmission. But then still all the precautions have to be taken because droplets can transmit it anytime. So, now another question is, what is the medication being used for the patient who are recognized positive for coronavirus, given the fact that there is still ongoing research for the suitable medication? So the medications which are being used are antiviral medications and a combination of azithromycin and hydroxychloroquine, but that depends on the patient. So they are not being used randomly in any patient, but there are specific guidelines for them to be used. Then another thing which is being tried out now is the plasma transfusion. That is also being used. So all these are just now they are under the research process. So they have not been just now prescribed, but they are under the research.
One question from Dr. Pallavi Dikshit, I think.
Another question.
The process of vaccine formation of this virus has been reached where the vaccine has ever become prepared due to something is written. Pallavi Dikshit.
Yeah, the vaccine process, like we read in the newspaper, and there were guidelines which are being published. There are around 30 pharmaceutical companies in India who are trying to prepare the vaccine. And in the US, one trial is there, which is has reached the human stage. So now the volunteers are being given the vaccine, and I think around 8 or 10 people had been given that vaccine, and they detected positive for the antibodies. That means the antibodies were being formed, and it was effective. But the vaccine takes around 1 year to go through all the formalities until it is developed.
Ma'am, one Anupma Shrivastava is asking what precautions we need to take when going out for groceries and veggies, and how to use veggies. Anupma Shrivastava is asking.
When going out, first of all, that we should not go out without wearing a mask. Then the social distance has to be maintained from the vegetable vendor also. And it is better like you take all your groceries or your vegetable things once weekly. Like you stock it up for 1 week, and the minimum number of time you have contact with the other people, the better it is. And once you take the vegetables or the groceries, like the vegetables and the fruit, then you wash them properly with soap and water and keep them, dry them, and then put them for storage.
One more question in chat box from Rajiv Yadav. Yeah. What is the main cause which make it difficult to prepare vaccine for coronavirus?
See, the main cause which is making it difficult to make the vaccine is because this virus is mutating very rapidly. Like it has got a L strain and it has got a S strain. So it is mutating very rapidly. And why it is actually not being difficult to make the vaccine, but any vaccine which is made, it has to go through a number of phases. Like first there is the animal trial, then it is the human, that is the human trial is the phase 3 or the phase 4th trial. So it has to go through a number of phases before it is made. First, the virus particle has to be isolated from the body, like the Indians have already isolated the virus particle. So it is a natural process which takes long. And then this virus also mutates. So supposing you make a vaccine for a particular type of a virus, strain of a virus, and it mutates to the other, then that vaccine will not be effective against that strain of the virus. So that is why it is difficult to have any vaccine for a virus. Because for example, we had that swine flu virus. So till today, no vaccine has been made against swine flu because it mutates every year. So this virus is here to stay with us. And the only thing which is going to prevent is to have the proper precautions.
Okay, while scrolling the chat box, ma'am, I was saying most of the comments are like, it's amazing, very nice, ma'am, very informative, very well explained, and very useful like this. One is asking, ma'am, Dr. Bal Mukund Sharma, the name of coronavirus originated from which language?
Corona actually means the crown. Now, which language I can't say, but the coronavirus means the
I think.
Okay.
Sun.
Ma'am, so
radiating.
Very informative. Thank you, ma'am. Very informative speech.
Thank you.
Like this, all the messages are like this only. Ma'am, my question is, ma'am, one more question is there. Dr. Amit Kumar Dhiman. Ma'am, my question is that, as you said, that the hand washing is 40 seconds to 60 seconds. But generally, doctor says that the hand washing is for 20 seconds. And the distance between the two persons is 1 meter. Is it true?
No. This is the...
Dhiman has asking.
Yeah, these guidelines have been given by the WHO. There was a lot of confusion in this. So when you use the hand sanitizer, then the time is 20 to 30 seconds. And when you use soap and water, then it is 40 to 60 seconds. And the distance is not 1 meter. The least distance is at least 2 meters. These are the guidelines which have been given by the World Health Organization.
One more question.
The previous question which you asked, that it is originated from the Latin language. The corona is from Latin.
Ma'am, my question is, Barrister Gupta from Lucknow University. Ma'am, my question is, please aware of processed and refrigerated food items during lockdown, because we don't have any other option. So what kind of food should be a substitute for this? Barrister Gupta is asking this.
See, if you are using processed food like cheese, so there is no problem. And the only thing is, and if you are having freezed food, then also it is not a problem, because the virus is not going to grow inside your freezer until and unless you put in a infected food. So the food which is going to be put in, like supposing you are putting a vegetable inside the fridge, so that has to be washed properly. The virus will not grow inside the fridge. But if the food is infected with the virus, then it is a problem. So before putting the food inside the fridge, it should be disinfected properly. And you should be careful, like supposing if you are putting a box, and the cardboard box, like a cheese box you are putting in. So, and if the cheese box has got the virus inside it, like in the cardboard, it stays for a few hours, then that can cause the virus. But otherwise the virus will not on itself grow inside the fridge until and unless it has been introduced from outside.
One question is visible on the chat box. Dr. रानी भटनागर लिखती हैं, महोदय कृपया उत्तर प्रदेश की क्षेत्रीय भाषा में बोलकर बात करें या हिंदी में भी बताती चलें, धन्यवाद। तो रानी भटनागर जी से मेरा ये है कि आपकी अगर कोई क्वेरी है तो आप हैंड रेज कर दीजिए और आप क्वेरी का जवाब हिंदी में देगा। तो रानी भटनागर जी, आप हैंड रेज करके चैट बॉक्स में अपनी जो क्वेरी है वो डाल दीजिए और उसका जो रिप्लाई है वो हिंदी में आपको मिल जाएगा।
I think the most of the question has been answered and और हम लोग अपने समय के भी करीब आ चुके हैं। डॉक्टर रमा, आपसे परमिशन चाहूंगी कि कुछ और क्वेरीज हैं अपनी।
एक ये one person is writing, can you share the recording and PPT of the session? तो will you please guide the participants कि that will be available on the YouTube also.
So
that is available on the YouTube.
वो शेयर की जाएगी, पूरी रिकॉर्डिंग इसकी की गई है और इसकी रिकॉर्डिंग जो रजिस्टर्ड ईमेल आईडी है उस पे शेयर की जाएगी और ये जो महिला विद्यालय डिग्री कॉलेज का फेसबुक पेज है उस पर भी ये पूरी रिकॉर्डिंग शेयर की जाएगी। और फीडबैक फॉर्म को चैट बॉक्स में अटैच कर दिया गया है, तो जो लोग यहाँ अटेंड किए हैं वो लोग फीडबैक फॉर्म को यहाँ से भी ले सकते हैं और जो उनके रजिस्टर्ड ईमेल आईडी है उन पे भी फीडबैक फॉर्म को मेल किया जाएगा।
I think no more queries. Any other queries there on the chat box?
I don't think so.
I think no. Yeah.
So with the permission of the coordinator, Dr. Rama Jain, and our principal, Dr. Nisha Gupta ma'am, I would like to end the session. And Dr. Monica,
first of all, I would like to thank all the this team, our team, and thank you so much once again, Dr. Monica Khanna, for sharing so much informative session, and our principal ma'am, Dr. Nisha Gupta, thank you for encouraging us and प्रेरणा देने के लिए हमारे मैनेजर सर डॉक्टर अनिल कुमार श्रीवास्तव, जिन्होंने मुझे प्रेरणा दी और लायक समझा कि ये प्रोग्राम हम लोग स्टार्ट करें और सपोर्ट किया, एनकरेज किया, और हमारे सारे कॉलेज के टीचर्स। और मैं अभी देख रही थी पार्टिसिपेंट्स में हमारे बहुत से कोलीग्स हैं, हमारे मैथ्स डिपार्टमेंट के, लखनऊ एसटी के, डिफरेंट कॉलेजेस के, कुछ के नाम लेना तो ठीक नहीं रहेगा क्योंकि बाकियों के नाम रह जाते हैं। तो हमारे सीनियर्स, हमारी टीचर्स, हमारे कलीग्स, सबने बहुत कोऑपरेट किया, एनकरेज किया इसको प्रोग्राम को सक्सेसफुल बनाने में। और सबसे बिग हैंड ऑफ अप्लॉज मोनिका खन्ना फॉर सच इंफॉर्मेशन। एंड आई वुड लाइक टू शेयर कि टुमारो इज ऑल्सो वन सेशन ऑन डाइट, टू हाउ टू बूस्ट योर immune system in this pandemic time. So please watch and attend that session also tomorrow at 12:50. Log in, and from 1 o'clock the session will start. So thank you once again. Thank you, Nisha ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you, Monica ji. Thank you, Monica ji.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you all of you.
Very informative. Very informative.